Marvel just blamed you, the fans, again. Ryan Coogler says that you're the problem. But here's the twist in all of this. Marvel knew shows like Ironheart were gonna flop. That's why it sat on a shelf for 2.5 years. But they ignored you, and then they blamed you. Why is that? Let's talk about how Marvel could have saved hundreds of millions of dollars if they had just listened. Ryan Coogler just proved he's living in a fantasy world. When defending Ironheart's failure, he dismissed all criticism by saying, quote, "I knew it was coming. Whenever you break ground in spaces that are thought of as not being for you, this happens." Translation: he's calling fans racist before they even speak. But here's where it gets worse. He then claimed that, quote, "the backlash is usually not factual, and that his show is for people who are busy living their lives instead of being permanently online." So let me give Coogler some facts about reality. Ironheart's streaming numbers are a disaster. It has not once made the Nielsen top 10 streaming rankings, despite releasing all of its episodes in a 2-week span. Ironheart's the worst rated show in the history of the MCU, according to Rotten Tomatoes. That's fans and critics. And the character was already a proven failure. Riri Williams has already had her own solo comic book series, and each one was canceled within 15 issues. Streaming failure, strike one. Audience rejection, strike two. Oh, and then there's her origin story. Ironheart is an enormous villain. Riri was a whiny thief in the comic books, and somehow, under Ryan Coogler's direction, they made her even less likable. And Coogler's own movie, Black Panther Wakanda Forever, proved the fans right. Riri was easily the weakest link. Coogler's not factual claim is complete bullshit. We have sales data, streaming numbers, and audience scores that all prove the exact same thing. And if it's for people busy living their lives, why is it only on Disney Plus? You are literally marketing to people that are online enough to have subscription services for streaming television. The real disconnect here is that Coogler thinks that by ignoring fan feedback, it makes him look progressive, but it just makes him really bad at his job. But Coogler wasn't the only one with a microphone. And what the media said about fans next was even worse. The movie blog decided to gaslight fans even harder, claiming a Marvel project dares to center a character who isn't white or male. And here comes the tidal wave of concerned fans questioning merit, canon accuracy, or tone, often without watching a single frame. They specifically called out Moses Ingram in Obi-Wan, The Acolyte, and Echo as examples of racist fan backlash. Hey numbnuts, does anybody remember a movie called Blade, had a sequel called Blade 2, that were absolutely amazing, awesome films that everybody loved? Who was complaining that Wesley Snipes portraying a black hero in a Marvel superhero film was a bad thing? What about Storm in the original Fox X-Men movies? Halle Berry was praised for her portrayal of Aurora Monroe. People love those movies because of Halle Berry. Black Panther showed up in Captain America Civil War. Coogler's own movie made $1.3 billion worldwide. Luke Cage in the Netflix Defenders universe. Where was the racist outrage about Luke Cage? I don't remember seeing any of that. Miles Morales is starring in a trilogy of his own Spider-Man movies, and people are absolutely loving it. It's making a ton of money worldwide. Those are 5 awesome Marvel POC heroes nobody had an issue with. Maybe we're only racist when they make bad decisions. As far as the Moses Ingram backlash, I don't remember that happening before the show came out. And then it came out and everyone realized this is not an Obi-Wan show, it's a Reva show. And yes, people were a little bit pissed off that they got bait and switch after waiting almost 20 years to see Ewan McGregor return as Obi-Wan. Echo's real problem, they should have seen that the actress, Alakwa Cox, had zero stage presence, had zero charisma, had zero leading lady ability. And anyone, including Kevin Feige and everyone at Marvel Studios who watched that Hawkeye show, would have seen that immediately. Not to mention that Echo was created in 1999, over 25 years ago, and has never successfully led her own ongoing comic book series because no one ever took the character seriously enough. And as far as The Acolyte, The showrunner and creator of the show, Leslie Headland, was literally out there antagonizing Star Wars fans for 2 fucking years before the show ever even came out. She sabotaged her own product. Are we surprised that Star Wars fans said, no, we don't like this. This isn't what we want. And just when you thought all this stupidity was done, here comes Pedro Pascal. Pedro Pascal just confirmed what we all suspected. He's completely aware that fans think he's wrong for Reed Richards. He told Vanity Fair, I'm more aware of disgruntlement around my casting than anything I've ever done. He's too old. He's not right. He needs to shave. This isn't news to anyone that's been paying attention. The moment his casting leaked, the entire fan base had the exact same 3 criticisms. As far as the age problem, Reed Richards is supposed to be in his early 30s, and Pedro Pascal is pushing 50. I believe he's 49 right now. As far as his stupid mustache, Reed Richards has been clean shaven for 99% of his comic book appearances since 1961. Marvel heard the reception when they leaked his name to begin with, and they cast him anyway. The Fantastic Four First Steps trailers look visually perfect. They look like Stan Lee and Jack Kirby created that universe and made it live action. And Reed Richards sticks out like a sore thumb. They could have listened. Fans gave them ample feedback when Pedro Pascal's name was leaked to be playing Reed Richards, and Disney chose to ignore it. And this is a major pattern with Disney's failures. When they see there's an audience reaction, they like to ignore it. Ironheart never worked as a character in comic books. They had her in the Wakanda Forever movie. Nobody liked the character. They made the show anyway. Echo stood out really terribly in Hawkeye as an actress. Star Wars fans have been telling Disney and Lucasfilm, we don't want the acolyte. This person doesn't like Star Wars. The real problem isn't the casting, it's the attitude. The data doesn't lie. Ironheart can't crack the streaming charts. Echo was dead on arrival. The Acolyte got canceled after 1 season. But instead of listening to the fans who tried to warn them, Marvel and Disney employees would rather paint their own customers as racist than admit they made bad creative decisions. Disney has literally spent hundreds of millions of dollars featuring characters that have never worked in the comic books, and then had the audacity to blame the fans when they failed. It's not racism, it's not sexism, it's not gatekeeping, it's storytelling. And Marvel Studios stopped telling stories for fans a long time ago. Let me know in the comments section what you think it's going to take for Marvel Studios to finally listen to their audience instead of Twitter activists. And don't forget to check out my 2022 video predicting exactly how Ironheart was going to fail. Marvel could have actually saved themselves a ton of money actually listening to fans like me back then. Link in the video description. Thank you for watching, and keep thinking critical.